Okay, this is an update vid for my CEN ct5 uh, Nitro RC car. If my the video jumps a little bit, I just tried editing it, and I looked at the video and I was just like moving it, and it just kept like, kind of like twitched, and it's like there's like a couple frames and stop frames, pause for, yeah, and it was just really dumb. I'm sorry, I'm taking it from a camera. It's mostly supposed to be used for pictures. Forget the megapixels, 10.2 megapixels for the camera, but it's supposed to take 6040p video, but it doesn't really take the best video, especially like when I zoom in. Like as I'm zooming in, it stops the audio for a second, and if you're wondering what this light's coming from, I'm using the LED light from my phone, because the light from my room is not bright enough. So, like I have in previous videos of my car, I have pre-cut holes. That was for the antenna wire, but I didn't really see a use for the little tube that stuck out of the car and ended up falling out anyways. I actually have it in the body posts. That's for your glow starter to get. Now this is for like airflow, and sorry if I don't say things right. It's really late at night, so this is actually, I have this connected to the little gas, or put your gas in, and I hold that from there, and sometimes I put the gas in there. Well, let me get the light in there, and to usually put gas in it, and the pull start, and I'm grabbing from the aftermarket part that I have in there. I'll show you that later. I usually do the pull start from right here and put the gas in from here. Now let's take the body off, and some of the cuts I have on here, like down there, the body cracked a little bit, and if I didn't cut around the crack, if people didn't know, if you didn't cut or drill a little hole right where the crack ended, the crack would just continue. So I just took scissors and just cut it really off, so the car is a little dirty. That's because it's just been sitting around. It doesn't run right now because it's been sitting around. I didn't take everything apart. I took it, I took the engine off, the exhaust, the gas tank. I didn't want to get too in depth with the car because it's not like a normal car. I mean, it's belt driven. This is actually the first gas car that I knew was belt driven. When I seen it, and I was like, oh cool, it's belt driven, it must be really good. And my uncle, he's the one that got me into RC. He knows a lot about it, and he's gonna be working on this so I can get it up and running again. But yeah, like I was saying, he said the belt driven is really good, but then you gotta worry about the belts breaking if like you're in a race and stuff. But usually you don't have that problem unless you're running it a lot. I'm missing the battery pack for it. I have to find that. But this car isn't that bad. I mean, I've driven it maybe a maximum of 7 times, and the most times like a tank of gas I put in it for the one run was maybe about 3. I used up 1/2 gallon or 1/4 or whatever. I don't know. It was like 15 or 16 bucks. We'll try to have more information about like what I did for this car and all that, and I have a parts video, have all the parts that are going to be included. I have to get it together again because it's been such a long time that I've had this up on eBay. But another thing that people worry about is the bottom of the car, how badly damaged the bottom is. Now you gotta remember, it was painted, so I mean, just the little scratch marks is just because the paint came off, doesn't mean they're big gashes in the metal. But try to back this up a little bit. Yeah, I mean, these are from the small stones and stuff from the road. It's not the worst I've seen. It's actually the best I've seen that have been sold on eBay and I actually used before. The worst is probably right there at the front. You can see like little indents, but even the front, it's not that bad. I mean, it's really not that bad. Another I seen from a guy, he ended up getting a large stone right in there, and he sold his car for 150 bucks. Let alone when he took the picture, you can see the gears were just messed up. You know, I don't know if people pay attention to that a lot, but I mean the gears right there were just chewed up because I mean they're plastic, but you don't want metal on metal. You want at least one, gear plastic so you have something to wear down. If it's metal, then you're probably gonna have to put oil or something on it a lot so they don't get hot and so yeah, it's easier to run and yeah. And it's late. Like I don't know if I said, but it's late at night, so I'm kind of just going along here. But overall, it's in really good shape. I want to sell it for at least 100. I don't know if I will get 100 for it, but yeah, yeah, I don't know if I will sell it for 100. But another thing, if at least work with me if you want this. If you want to buy it for like a parts car or buy a certain part of it off of it, I'd like to buy a lot of the parts off of it instead of just one and then selling the one part and it's like then I'm out of part and then someone might want to go back and want the car and it's like, well, I don't have the one part for it. So I do have aftermarket parts for it, not much. The rollover, I mean, I pick it up from that. I tightened it really tight. Another thing is, I think they knew what was going to happen. Is the belt right in there? I'm trying to get my phone just right. There's a belt right in there, and then right along here. Sorry, the light's kind of right there, and then another one. Hold on. And another one right there at my finger. 3 belts. They give you a belt for right there and for the front wheel drive. That's the rear wheel, front wheel. But what they didn't give you is another belt for over there, and that ended up snapping on me, and that is actually just a belt for it to come over. It's the belt's right there, and then they have gears and a drive line going right through here for this belt right here in the front. So once that goes out, it was really hard to control this car. I mean, even at 1/3, even 1/4 throttle, it was just terrible to control. I mean, that's one problem. If the belt does break for the front wheel drive, they could have done something else and then just put a cheap belt there so you have to go back and pay for another one. So that belt is new, so you don't have to worry about that. I have two extra belts. So if you're looking to buy this car, hook me up with a message and I will get back to you soon.